True Sports episode 180 is on the air. I'm Taylor Phillips. He's Louis Tenor to the right of your screen. The NBA free agency frenzy has begun today. So lots of
Yeah.
signings, of course, today. Let me move my phone here. Oh, man. A free agency signings and trades. The Clippers signing Brooke Lopez. My Pistons getting Karis LeVert after losing Dennis Schroeder. Karis LeVert is a, an asset, a very
Yeah.
and a former Wolverine. He can shoot the basketball.
I know. I've watched him play over the. He can't really shoot. That's a
Yeah.
good old pro there.
Hmm.
And Brook Lopez goes home, sort of.
Yep.
Unfortunately, he couldn't.
Um,
He could have done better for the Nets, but yeah, the Nets, were just falling apart. Now he's going back to the West Coast.
yep. The Nuggets signing Bruce Brown. The Mavs signing D'Angelo Russell. Um, still no official word on LeBron James and whether he's staying or going. But man,
Mm.
um,
If he does,
the NHL, yeah, the NHL free agency. First day of NHL free agency is July 1st, of course, but the Red Wings have re-signed Patrick Kane. They traded Vladimir Tarasenko to the Minnesota Wild for future considerations, and they've re-signed
oh boy,
Albert Johansson and Jonathan Bergeron.
interesting move there. But getting back to LeBron for a minute, at his age, of course, I don't think there's not much left. I mean, if he doesn't re-sign with the Lakers, I think he's gonna call it quits. I mean, he is 43 years old, and he's done just about everything. So I think it's safe to say that, well, regardless, I think it's gonna be his last year in a Lakers uniform. But I don't know if I see him going anywhere else. I think it's gonna be it.
Yeah, yeah, he just might.
Yeah.
And of course, Major League Baseball, the Tigers keep getting win after win. Took 2 or 3
Yeah.
from the Twins.
Unreal.
Yeah, Tarek Skubal just keeps setting records. 13
Yes.
strikeouts, only one hit, 7 innings pitched. That's
Having a
him, all right.
phenomenal year.
Yeah. Tarek Skubal is, and so is the rest of the Tigers. So are the rest of the team. So is the rest of the team. So yeah, you better watch out. This could be even better than 2006 and 2012, at least
Yeah,
individually.
for sure.
All right, so time for your True Sports Report. Go right ahead.
All right, and away we go. We'll start off with, of course, the MLB. 3 games going on right now. Right now, on the top of the 10th, the Orioles lead the Rangers 5-3. 2 out, nobody on. Armstrong is pitching, and Cowser is at bat. Top 6, Mariners are leading the Royals, by 5-1. 1 out, nobody on. Kirby's pitching, and Witt Jr. is at bat. And the D-backs lead the Giants 2-0 in the top of the 7th. 1 out, nobody on. Newton's pitching, and Smith is at bat. All the rest are finals. The Phillies blanked the Padres 4-0. Wheeler got the win, and Walton got the loss. Pirates blanked the Cardinals 7-0. Henley got the win, and Brady got the loss. Blue Jays over the Yankees 5-4. Little got the win. Leiter Jr. got the loss. Al's boy, and Hoffman got the save. Al Leiter's boy. Red Sox over the Reds 13-6. Rochet got the win. Burns got the loss. A's over the Rays 6-4. Newcomb got the win. Fairbanks got the loss, and Miller got the save. That's about it. All right. So we'll check the standings. They go this way. In the East, well, despite the loss, the Yankees are still in front. They have 40-36, but look out, here come the Rays, 47-38, just a game and a half back. Blue Jays also creeping in, 46-48, 2 back. Careful. The Red Sox, they're 42-44, but just only 2 games below 500, and they're 7 back. Not impossible. And the Orioles, the disappointment of the year, 36-47, 11.5 back. A major disappointment, if I do say so. In the Central, yep, Tigers have a 53-32, a commanding 11.5 game lead over the Guardians, 40-42. Oh boy, that's 11.5 back. Twins, 40-44, 12.5 back. The Royals, 39-45, 13.5 back, and the White Sox, 28-58, 24.5 back. Their season's over. The West, Astros, 50-34, have a comfortable 6.5 game lead over the Mariners, 43-40. Angels, 8.5 back at 41-42, but respectable. Rangers, 41-43, 9 back. And the A's, 35-52, 16.5 back. And it's official, in about 2 years, they will head to Vegas. Oh boy, look at this. The Phillies are 50-35 and have a 2-game lead over the Mets now, 48-37. What happened to this team? Braves, 11 back at 38-45. Marlins, 37-45, 11.5 back. And the Nationals, 35-49, 14.5 back. Ugly. The Cubs lead the Central at 49-35, have a 2-game lead for the Brewers at 47-37. 3 back are the Cardinals at 47-39. The Reds, 44-41, very respectable, just 5.5 back. And we have the Pirates, 36-50, 14 back, despite Paul Skenes.
Tigers could use Paul Skenes right now, man.
Yeah. Dodgers are commanding 53-32, a 7.5 game lead over the Padres and Giants at 45-39. The D-backs, 41-42, 11 back, decent. And the Rockies bring up the rear, a miserable, pathetic. Hold on to this one, guys. 19-65, 33.5 back. Tomorrow was July 1st, and they can't even get 20 wins on the year at this point in the season. Unbelievably sad.
They're on pace to lose 120, roughly 125 games total this season.
Boy, this will be the suckiest team in baseball history.
Which would break the White Sox new record from last year.
Yeah, it makes it even more like a comic tragedy. I mean, it took over 100 years to break that record, and this new record has been broken in a year. Ugliest sin. Okay. Tomorrow's schedule. An unusual day game for a Tuesday, as the Yankees will play the Blue Jays at 3:07 tomorrow. It's unusual because they don't really play day games on Tuesday, but it is Canada Independence Day tomorrow in Canada, so that explains that. The Padres take on the Phillies at 6:35. 6:40, the Twins take on the Marlins. Also 6:40, the Cardinals take on the Pirates. 6:45, your Tigers take on the Nationals. 7:05, the A's take on the Rays. 7:10, the Reds take on the Red Sox. Also 7:10, the Brewers take on the Mets. 7:15, the Angels take on the Braves. They need some help. But Orioles take on the Rangers at 8:05. It's a doubleheader tomorrow, I think. The Guardians take on the Cubs at 8:05. 8:40, the Astros will likely beat up on the Rockies. Sorry. 9:40, The Royals take on the Mariners. Also 9:40, the Giants take on the D-backs. And to wrap it up, the White Sox, will probably lose against the Dodgers at 10-10.
Yeah.
I know I'm being a little presumptuous, but the way it's been going, you get the idea. WNBA tomorrow. Oh, yeah. As we're entering the 1/4 mark of the season. Oh, just one game tomorrow. The Indiana Fever take on the Minnesota Lynx at 8 o'clock on Prime Video. I don't know if Caitlin Clark will be playing or not because she got injured yet again. And quite frankly, this worries me a little bit. She just came off a 3-week injury and then she gets injured again. It's a shame. And Wimbledon is also in session as well. Trying to see if there's anything with the Gold Cup tomorrow because U.S. is in the semifinals now. After yesterday's 3-2 win, it was a doozy. So no, there is no Gold Cup match tomorrow, but there'll be an important match on Wednesday. Oh yeah, Gold Cup. The United States takes on Guatemala at 7 o'clock, and at the nightcap, Mexico takes on Honduras at 10. Both games are on Fox Sports 1. If you got it, good. If you don't, you better get it. And in the women's national friendly matchup, it's a border war. U.S. takes on Canada at 7:30, and Mexico takes on Colombia at 7:45. All right. So let's get on to the rest of the news. It goes this way. As we mentioned, Brook Lopez, after 8 years away, he's returned to Los Angeles. But on the other side, the former Laker is now signing a 2-year or plans to sign a 2-year, $18 million deal with the Clippers, according to a report from ESPN. If the deal becomes official, Lopez will end a 7-year run with the Bucks, which includes an NBA title in 2021. The former Stanford product began his NBA career with the Nets in 2009 and made only one All-Star appearance with them back in 2013. What a shame. After 9 years with the Nets, he moved west and joined the Lakers in 2018. He eventually went to the Bucks, and became a front court teammate of the Greek Freak in 2023. He also finished second in voting that year as Defensive Player of the Year. Despite a 50-32 record, they lost in the first round of the playoffs for the third straight year. Kind of weird. NHL for Morgan Geekie, or Geekie, as the case may be, and the Bruins have come to terms on a 6-year deal worth $33 million that will extend into the 2030-31 season. Oof, I'll be 61 years old by then. Yes. This past season, Geekie played in 77 games and had 33 goals, 24 assists, and of course, were highest across the board. He had 29 even strength goals and 48 even strength points. The Carolina Hurricanes selected Geekie in the third round of 2017 and has played in 333 career games for the Kraken, Hurricanes, and Bruins, and has 72 goals and 87 assists. The Bruins also announced they agreed to terms with defenseman Henry Kyrou on a 3-year, $9 million deal that runs through the 2027-28 season. Forward John Beecher signed a 1-year, $900,000 deal, and goaltender Michael DiPietro signed a 2-year deal worth $812,500, give or take. So Kyrou played a total of 60 games with the Sabres and Bruins last season with 3 goals and 7 assists. Beecher, the Bruins' first-round pick in 2019, appeared in 78 games this past season with 3 goals and 8 assists. Finally, DiPietro appeared in 40 games for Providence of the American Hockey League, posting a 26-8-5 record with a 2.05 goals against average and a save percentage of 9.27 with 4 shutouts. Hey, not bad. NBA forward Zaire Williams plans to sign a 2-year, $12 million deal with the Nets, as reported by ESPN today. The second year is a team option, per the report. Williams would have become a free agent. Williams was selected 10th by the Grizzlies in 2021 and spent 3 seasons there, till he was traded to the Nets for a second-round pick in 2030. 5 years to go, people. All right, Jalen Williams of the Oklahoma City Thunder will undergo wrist surgery on a ligament tear on his wrist. The Athletic reported on it today. That's the bad news. But the good news is he should be ready when the new season begins. The injury reportedly occurred on April 9th as the Thunder took on the Suns. Despite the injury, Williams stayed in the game and finished with 30 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. Playing through the pain anyway. Williams was able to play through the injury the postseason. It's lucky for Williams that the Thunder were still able to play since the Thunder won the championship last week. During the playoffs, he averaged 21.4 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 4.8 assists. He really shined in the finals against the Pacers, as he became just the 5th player in the last 40 years to score at least 3 straight finals games of scoring at least 25 points before reaching age 25. What's even more impressive was how he was able to perform well in the postseason despite his injury. So the NBA season's off season's off to a hot start between massive trades and extensions, and last week's draft, welcoming the next generation of NBA stars to the NBA franchises across the league, reshaping themselves, preparing for next season. ESPN reported on Sunday that the Jazz were sending Colin Sexton and a 2031 second-round pick to the Hornets in exchange for Yusuf Nurkic. Sexton is now set to line up with LaMelo Ball, with new addition Con Kadupal to the roster. Meanwhile, Nurkic will team up with Ace Bailey of Rutgers, who the Jazz drafted as the 5th pick out of Rutgers on Wednesday, and that represents my home state. Sexton led the Jazz with total points and had the second highest usage rate on the roster last season, meaning his absence will leave plenty of action for Bailey and rookie guard Walter Clayton Jr. As for the Hornets, they still have some dealing to do before the season starts, as they are shorthanded in the front court after moving Nurkic in addition to trading Mark Williams in the draft. James Harden is staying with the Clippers. Harden, an 11-time All-Star, signed a new 2-year, $81.5 million deal after he declined his player option on Sunday. ESPN reported that Harden's player option for next season was $36.5 million. It was fully expected that Harden would decline his player option. His new deal includes a player option in the second year and has a partial guarantee. Harden will return to the Clippers for a 3rd season this fall. He signed a 2-year, $70 million deal last summer, so he got quite the upgrade this offseason. He will now make $40.7 million annually compared to just $35 million he made last season. Not that's something to sneeze at, but still. Harden, who plays at guard, averaged 22.5 points last season, his best since 2020 with the Nets. Last season, he averaged 8.7 points, also has 87 assists and 5.8 rebounds in 79 games last season. He played in all 7 games of their first round series, lost to the Nuggets in May. He averaged 18.7 points, 9.1 assists, and 5.4 rebounds. They did so well, and they lose in the first round. Unbelievable. Dayton Ayton and the Blazers agreed to a new contract buyout to make the center a free agent this offseason. The move is not a total surprise, but to one official. Ayton will now be able to sign with any team he wants. One team high mention for Ayton is the Lakers, who are in need of a center after trading Anthony Davis to the Dallas Mavericks for Luka Doncic back in February. Ayton was sent to the Blazers on a 3-team blockbuster trade that sent Damian Lillard. Ayton played his entire career with the Suns until the trade. Ayton played 2 seasons with the Blazers. He produced his lowest scoring average, 14.4 points, 10.2 rebounds, and 1.6 assists in 40 games that he started in. It's been his lowest since his rookie year. All right, Celtics fans, I got some good news for you, even though it's going to bug me. Jason Tatum is already back at the gym, less than 2 months after he tore his Achilles, which ended the Celtics season on May 12th against my Knicks, and the Celtics' chances for back-to-back titles. He underwent surgery on the 13th, a day after the injury. He sounded optimistic shortly after the surgery regarding his recovery process. However, in the past week, Tatum has taken to its website X to air out some grievances about the struggles and about his recovery. On Sunday, Tatum posted a video on Snapchat of him working on the gym with a boot on his leg. The Celtics star was doing crunches as he was holding a weight. Maybe this is what Tatum was complaining about on social media, as his return to his workouts were surely not easy for him. The Celtics have not released an official timeline to return for Tatum, but Achilles injuries can take up from 9 to 12 months to fully recover from. At the current rate, it's likely Tatum won't return until the second half of the season, but the video also serves as an indication for Tatum to make a return. The Houston Rockets are not done with their deals yet. Just days after grabbing Kevin Durant, they signed Jabari Smith to a 5-year, $122 million deal, keeping both sides together until at least 2031. This is just the latest move for what's already been a busy offseason for the Rockets. To be honest, Smith has been a reliable player for the Rockets since he was drafted 4th in the 2012 draft. While injuries limited his performance this season, Smith averaged 13 points and 7 rebounds per game for the Rockets when he was on the court. Over the next few years, he will get a chance to study that under Durant. The Sixers picked up a 1-year, $8.4 million option on Kelly Oubre Jr. in the 2025-26 season, as reported by ESPN. Oubre finished with 15.1 points this season, with 6.1 rebounds and 1.8 assists in 60 games with 57 starts for the Sixers, one of the few bright spots they had. In 7 seasons, he averaged 15 points per game. I got more. Okay. In 10 seasons, Oubre Jr. averaged 13.3 points per game, 4.6 rebounds, at 1.1 assists in 655 games with 311 starts for the Wizards, Suns, Warriors, Hornets, and Sixers. Globetrotter. The Bucks and Bobby Portis have come to a new contract as he was set to the final year of his current deal in the upcoming season. Portis' new pact will team with the Bucks will span 3 years worth $45 million. The contract includes a player option for 2027-28, according to a report from ESPN. Under his current deal, Portis added a player option to return to the Bucks at $13.4 million. Instead, he will re-up with the organization long-term extension for an average value of $15 million. Portis was limited to 49 games this season due to injuries, but when he was healthy, he averaged 13.9 points, 8.4 rebounds, while shooting 36.5% from 3-point range. The 10-year veteran spent the last 5 seasons with the Bucks, but will stick around long after signing a new contract. The Wolves and Julius Randle come to terms with a new deal that will keep him around for quite a while. Randle and the Wolves will put the pen to paper on a 3-year, $100 million extension that includes a player option for the 2027-28 season, that according to ESPN. Under the previous deal, Randle had a player option of $30.9 million for the 2025-26 season. He was set to become an unrestricted free agent next season. But wait, there's more. Okay, it sure is. But now he's staying put for his 3 more seasons and get a bit of a pay raise due to make $33 million per season throughout the course of his new contract. Randle enjoyed a soft first season with the Timberwolves after being acquired from the Knicks as part of the Karl-Anthony Towns deal. He averaged 18.7 points, 7.1 rebounds, and 4.7 assists while shooting 48.5% from the field. He improved in the playoffs, averaging 21.7 points, 5.9 rebounds, and 4.9 assists across 15 games before the Wolves were eliminated. All right. The defending NBA champion OKC Thunder have taken their first step forward towards keeping their roster together. Agreeing with forward center Jalen Williams on a 3-year, $24 million deal, ESPN reported yesterday. ESPN also reported the third year of the new deal is also a team option. He will be entering the final year of his 4-year deal with $8.2 million. The Thunder selected Williams in the second round of the 2022 draft out of Arkansas. In this recently most completed season, Williams was limited to 47 games with 9 starts, averaging 5.9 rebounds, 5.6 assists, rebounds, and 2.6 assists per game. In 165 games with 46 starts, he's averaged 5.1 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 1.9 assists. The Denver Nuggets signed guard Reese Beekman to an Exhibit 10-day contract. Exhibit 10 contract. After spending the last 4 seasons playing college ball at Virginia, Beekman went undrafted in 2024. He signed a 2-way deal with the Warriors and played 2 games for a total of 4 minutes. He was sent to the Nets in December as part of the Dennis Schroeder trade and played 34 games, averaging 2.7 points, 1.8 assists, and 1 steal in 13.7 minutes. Yuck. All right. The Blazers have exercised their 2025-26 season for guard Ryan Rupert. Rupert was selected 43rd overall in the 2023 draft. As a rookie, he played in 39 games, made 12 starts, averaged 4.0 points, 2.4 rebounds, and 1.6 assists. Last season, he averaged only 3 points and 1.3 rebounds in 52 games. The 6'6" guard put up better numbers in the G League in 17 appearances for the Rip City Remix. He averaged 16.7 points, 5.9 rebounds, and 2.7 assists with 1.4 steals. He will carry a $2.2 million cap in the final year of his contract. He is set to be a free agency in 2026. All right, as NBA free agency negotiations open up later this week, all eyes will be glued to every bit of reporting as usual. Lakers will be one of the most interesting teams to watch. LeBron James is expected to exercise his $52.5 million player option for the 2025-26 season, but that would make him a free agent after next season. It could possibly be his last with the Lakers, by either retiring or signing another team throughout the stage of his career. I think he will likely end it. So the Lakers' position, this team is very important. It's LeBron's last opportunity to win a second time with the Lakers. One player they seem to be interested in Brook Lopez, according to Jake Fischler. Numerous rival teams are bracing for the center, carving Lakers to make a run at the postseason, grabbing Lopez from the Bucks. Fischler wrote in a post on Sunday. Lopez played for the Lakers in the 2017-2018 season after missing the LeBron era by 1 season. The Lakers acquired him in a trade that would go on to sign with the Bucks 1 season later. Lopez went on to win a title with the Bucks in 2021 and was an important defensive piece of an offensive spacer for 7 seasons. One of the things Lopez is credited is with the reinvention of his game as a big man. He went from fewer than 5 3-point attempts in the first part of his career to hundreds per season later in his career. An international realignment of his game with the modern philosophies of spacing and high volume 3-point shooting. Last season, he averaged 13 points and 5-point rebounds and 1 point assists on shooting 50.9% from the field and 37.5 shooting behind the arc. The Lakers will likely be one of the many teams getting after the big man in free agency. I wouldn't be surprised. Free agent guard Sam Martell intends to sign a 4-year, $30 million deal to stay with the Cavaliers. Source ESPN. The Cavaliers negotiated the new deal with Kyler Hilfer and Mark Barlstein of Priority Sports, a success story for the 60th pick in the 2020 draft. How long ago? The deal cements the Cavaliers' depth at point guard. Darius Garland, Alonzo Ball, Craig Porter Jr., and Merle. And the expectation is that they will lose the sixth man of the year, Ty Jerome, to free agency, according to sources. Merle was one of several role players who helped make the Cavaliers one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the league last season. He shot 37.2% from 3-point range, 5.2 attempts per game, after shooting 40% from that distance in the 2023-2024 season. Merrill, who played 71 games last season, joined the Cavaliers on a 10-day contract in 2023 and was quickly removed. It was quickly converted into a guaranteed multi-year deal that expired that summer. Yeah. Okay. The Red Wings have acquired John Gibson from the Anaheim Ducks Saturday for fellow goaltender Peter Mazarek and a high Sarah Mrazek. The Ducks received the Red Wings' fourth-round pick in the 2026 draft and a second-round pick in 2027. There is no salary retention in that deal. My goodness.
It's an upgrading goal for the Red Wings.
This past season, Gibson went 11-11-2 with a 2.77 ERA and a save percentage of 9.11. He is the Ducks' all-time leader in saves and leaves Anaheim 2 wins short of John Sebastian Jaguars. Yep.
Wow, no kidding. That's a major upgrade.
Oh, yeah. No question about that.
Wonder what Kyle Busch of the Healthy Scratch Red Wings report thinks of that.
Yeah. I know. The Islanders had a busy day on Friday. Entering that day, they traded defenseman Noah Dobson to Montreal and landed the 16th and 17th picks overall in the draft. With that number one pick in the draft, the Islanders select OHL defenseman Matthew Schaefer to help stabilize the defense for the future. Schaefer registered 7 goals and 15 assists in 17 games, but was shut down for the rest of the season with a collarbone injury. Ugh.
Oh, boy. Hope it's not broken.
Yeah, but still to have that kind of injury, that is painful.
Right.
After Schaefer went off the board, the Sharks selected Ontario Hockey League winger Michael Mesa of Saginaw, who was rated by many as the top forward in the draft class. Rounding out the top 3 is Swedish forward Anton Rondell as he heads to the Chicago Blackhawks. Good luck with that one. The Blackhawks. Conn Smythe Trophy winner Sam Bennett signed an 8-year, $64 million extension on Friday with the 2-time Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. Bennett is now under contract through the 2032-33 season. The forward's new salary cap of $8 million is up sharply from the $4.4 million in change from his previous deal. In the regular season, of 24-25. He had 26 goals, 26 assists, and 25 goals in 76 games, and had 15 assists and 7 goals in the postseason. Bennett had a unique blend of skill and physicality in this game, and becoming one of the most impactful postseason performers of his generation, set by Panthers general manager Bill Zito. He has played an important role for their 2 Stanley Cup titles, earning the team's first Conn Smythe Trophy winner, and is a dedicated contributor to the South Florida community off ice. In 691 career games, Bennett had 174 assists with 162 goals with the Flames. And Panthers. He was drafted 4th overall by the Flames in 2014. In 107 postseason games, Bennett has 40 goals and 30 assists and leaves the playoffs with 15 goals. Wow. On Friday morning, the Raptors fired top basketball executive Masai Ujiri, who had been with the team for over a decade and guided them to an NBA championship title in 2018. The news itself was not a big surprise, but the timing of it, well, yes, that was, as it happened during the NBA draft on Wednesday. Now, the big question for Ujiri is where he will end up working next season, assuming he wants to continue his career as an NBA executive. Well, right after the announcement, there was plenty of speculation that the Atlanta Hawks were interested. Atlanta reportedly had interest in Ujiri for months ago. So after opting to shake up his own front office and Ansi Sela as general manager. However, 2 executives hired under Sela seem to indicate the likelihood of landing Ujiri an unlikely proposition. News reporting on Friday night supported the thinking. Mark Stein, in his newsletter, the Stein line, said that the Hawks are operating under expectation that Sala would be one of the top executives for the foreseeable future. While things such as sudden availability for Ujiri, who had a year left in his contract with the Raptors, can change in an instant, prompting a shift in strategy. For the time being, it appears the door on Ujiri is closed up for now. All right. For the Utah Jazz, everything has been coming up in, well, aces. Jazz part Ace Bailey reported the team back on June 28th. A representative of the Jazz told ESPN on Friday Bailey, who is only 18, was taken 5th in the first round of the NBA out of Rutgers. We had good communication with Bailey and his reps. The representative said, "We feel good about everything. Ace is heading to Utah a few days ago, then a press conference on Saturday and practice today. Bailey will be playing in the Summer League when that begins on July 10th. Leading up to the draft, considerable speculation swirled around whether Bailey had reps or both would try to steer its destination. An uncommon, if not unheard of practice, those questions had not been put to rest. He's great, said the Utah president of operations, manager Austin Ainge said on Wednesday of Bailey, "We were able to speak with him. We think he has a bright future here." I wasn't really the relation to Danny Ainge, probably. Wolves center Naz Reid signed a 5-year, $125 million deal to remain with the Wolves. ESPN reported on Friday, according to Dane Moore, in the final year of a player option. The 2024 Sixth Man of the Year is staying put through the end of the decade, despite hearing terms potentially giving him a starting role. Reed also declined his $15 million option for the 2025-26 season in order to sign a long-term deal. And that's it. Well, I don't know how I feel about this one, but we'll give it a go. As you know, TNT has lost the rights to the NBA. Now the network will relinquish oversight of NBA TV operations. The announcement came on the 27th, though it should be not much of a surprise to anyone. Well, yeah. After 17 seasons with TNT Sports, day-to-day operations will revert back to the league on October 1st. We have made several proposals to continue to operate the NBA network and digital assets set by sports chair and CEO Luis Silber Wasser in a statement. And a
What the
memo, actually,
hell?
to their employees of Warner Brothers cable unit and reported by Sportico. However, we were not able to agree with the path moving forward that recognized its value of our expertise, quality content, and operational excellence that our fans and partners have come to expect for TNT. Next season, NBA games will be on NBC and Amazon and Prime in place of TNT at least for the next 11 years. But NBA TV will continue to exist. Thank goodness. Ugh, I hate to lose that channel.
Oh, I still have the channel, but it's just not no longer going to televise NBA.
No, NBA TNT produced the games for NBA TV, but they're no longer going to be involved in it. So it's just going to be distributed by somebody else.
Okay. So it's still going to be on TNT, right?
No, it's gonna be. There's still gonna be NBA TV, but TNT is out. They'll just be produced by somebody else. Yeah, that's what I thought too. I thought NBA TV was gonna be gone since they said that TNT was gonna be not doing any games anymore. But that is a lie.
Huh.
So thankfully, I still have it. Ugh, thank God. Okay, the Blazers have signed former Arizona standout Caleb Love to a two-way contract after the Pac-12 Player of the Year went undrafted on Thursday, as reported by ESPN. Love, who plays at guard, played at North Carolina from 2020 to 2023, then went on to Arizona, or as I call it, the desert, for the last two seasons. Well, it is a desert. After averaging 18 points, 4-point rebounds, and 3.4 assists, he also earned Pac-12 Player of the Year in the 2023 and 24 season. The desert. Love also earned first team Big 12 nod during the 2024-25 season with 17.2 points, 4.4 rebounds, and 3.4 assists per game. In 174 games with 169 starts for the Wildcats and Tar Heels, Love averaged 15.9 points per game, but 3.8 rebounds, 3.4 assists, and 1.1 steals. He made 393 points, but only shot 32.6% from the arc and 38% overall. Portland selected Yang Hansen from China, 17th overall in the first round of the draft, which was on Wednesday. Sixers center Andre Drummond picked up his $5 million player option for the upcoming season, ESPN said on Friday. Drummond played 19 minutes per game in a season where they were missing Joel Embiid for much of the year. He averaged 7.8 points and 7.3 rebounds per game while shooting 50% from the field. His option was picked up after the Sixers picked up Johnny Broom in the second round of the NBA draft. Drummond signed a 2-year, $10 million deal with the Sixers last summer. This is his second go-around with Philadelphia after spending the first part of the 2021-22 season with the Sixers before he joined the across-the-river rivalry of the Nets, which they basically are across the river. All right. One day after Cooper Flag was drafted by the Mavericks, the league announced that first-time fans will see him on the court at the next level. Not for the first regular season game of the season that starts, but NBA has planned a special summer league debut for Flag to kick off the action starting on July 10th. It'll be in Vegas. On Thursday, ESPN announced that Flag will compete against Ronnie James and the Lakers. Oh boy. They'll be on the Summer League, which is the 10th. The Mavericks and Lakers will tip up a doubleheader, with the second game being the Spurs against the Sixers, as Dylan Harper goes up against VJ Edgecombe. The Vegas Summer League runs from July 10th to 20th, as Flag headlines along with Harper, Edgecombe, and the rest of their fellow 25 draftees who heard their names called this week. Even if Flag does not play every game, his debut gets the primetime matchup as highly anticipated. I'm looking forward to seeing it myself. Just let's see how good he is. Is he worth the hype? Well, we'll see. Because you never know when the hype comes in. You get the idea. The Lakers trade their 55th pick in cash to the Bulls for the 45th pick said by ESPN. The Lakers did not receive a first-round pick in the draft and moved their 10 spots to number 45 to make their first selection in round 2. With the Lakers deciding to use cash to move up the draft, they will face a hard salary cap at the second apron next season, as told by reporter Keith Smith. Even with the move upward, the Lakers still didn't make a selection until midway in the second round. Some of the best players that were not in the first round were Ryan Kalkbrenner, Rasheed Fleming, Max Reynolds, and Johnny Broome. But it is not clear where they will end up in the draft. Well, we know that now. Lakers got Austin Reeves. He's holding out for a bigger paycheck. What a shock. The Athletic reported on Thursday, citing the sources, that Reeves declined a max extension with the Lakers this week. That would have been a 4-year, $8.9 million deal. A contract was the largest offer the Lakers could offer this season in terms of years and cash. The Athletic also reported that Reeves' decision is not a reflection of the organization. Instead, Reeves will play out the third year of his 4-year deal worth $4 million that was signed in 2023. Declines player option for the 2026-2027 season and become an unrestricted free agent again next summer as a bigger payday awaits. Reeves is one of the biggest names in trade rumors this offseason, as the Lakers look to build around LeBron and Luka Doncic for another title. However, Reeves has stated that he expressed his desire to stay with the Lakers long term. The Seattle Kraken making moves again ahead of that was before the draft by agreeing to add some forward depth in a deal with the Minnesota Wild. The Kraken acquired center Frederick Gardou from the Wild in exchange for a 2025 draft pick in the 5th round, 102 overall. Gardou was in the midst of a 5-year deal worth $10.5 million for the upcoming season, which will be his 3rd year in the deal. So the Kraken acquired Gardou with 3 years remaining on his current deal. But the annual guaranteed rate with an annual rate of $2.1 million. Last season, Gardou played in all 82 games for the Wild, had 37 points, 18 goals. He had 37 or more points in 3 of the last 4 seasons. After parting with 102 pick for the Kraken, now just 5 picks in the draft, including the first round, 2 in the second, a 5th round pick, and a 7th round pick. This would be Gardou's 9th season in the league. In addition to being with the Wild, he also played with the Senators. All right, let's move on. Okay. Dallas Stars winger Jamie Benn is staying right where he is. Ben signed with the Stars on a 1-year, $1 million deal with $3 million in incentives. The deal was announced back on Thursday. The new deal follows the expiration of his previous deal of 9 seasons, running from 2027 up until this past year. Ben is second on the Stars' all-time scoring list, trailing only Mike Modano. In the last decade, Ben was one of the league's most productive scorers and won the Art Ross Trophy in 2015. After the decline of sorts, Ben returned to form in 2023 by scoring 78 points. Last season, he scored 16 goals and 33 assists. Ben was drafted by the Stars in the 5th round of the 2007 draft. All right. Riley Smith, the original member of the Vegas Golden Knights, signed a 1-year extension worth $2 million back on Thursday. The deal includes a no-trade clause. The winger joined the Golden Knights after spending his first 6 seasons with the Bruins, Stars, and Panthers, then spent 6 seasons with the Knights before being traded to the Pens in 2023. Smith rejoined the Knights at the trade deadline after starting the season with my Rangers, which didn't do anything. In 12 regular season games with the Knights. Smith had 11 points with 3 goals in the playoffs. That included a game-winning goal with just 4/10 of a second left against the Warriors in Game 3 of the second round. Wow. Can you imagine that? Just 0.4 seconds left. A member of the 2023 Stanley Cup champion team, Smith ranks 3rd in team history with 127 goals and 15 assists and points. For his career, Smith has 226 goals and 327 assists in 919 games. Not bad. All right. I believe that the NHL and Player Association have reached a deal on a new CBA. The topics that were discussed on Wednesday were the length of schedule. The NHL has been 82 games since the 95-96 season, but according to reports, conversations were held over the possibility of an 84-game season, which has been done before. According to The Athletic, the change would take effect not this coming season, but the next season of 2026 and 27, and the addition of regular season games would also reduce the number of preseason games. The league has adjusted to the length of the regular season several times. The length of the season from 74 to 78 games from 1967 to 74 as multiple expansion teams joined the league. From 72 to 92, the NHL played an 82-game schedule and then played an 84-game schedule from 1992 to 1994. After the lockout season of 1994-95, the league stood at 82 games. It stood there for 30 years, but the league is now open to making some adjustments. And of course, that strikeout reduced the season to 48 games. And they were criticizing that whole season because that represents really only just halfway across the season. So the old saying is, half win, half season, half cup. Oh boy, yeah. All right, I'm gonna read down some of the names of the NFL draft, of the NBA draft here. I'll start with the obvious ones. Number 1, Mavericks select Cooper Flag. What a shock from Duke. Number 2, Spurs select Dylan Harper from Rutgers, which represents my home state of New Jersey. Thank you. Sixers select VJ Edgecombe of Baylor. Number 3, Hornets select Con Knuppel of Duke. Number 4, Jazz select Ace Bailey of Rutgers. Number 5, I like that. Wizards select Trey Johnson of Texas. Number 6, Pelicans select Jeremy Fears of Oklahoma, number 7. The Nets select Igor Demon from BYU. 9, Raptors select Murray Boyles from South Carolina. Number 10, Suns select Kelman Malik of Duke. 11, Grizzlies select Cedric Coward from Washington State. Number 12, the Bulls select Noah Esgrunge from France by way of BYU. The Pelicans select Derek Queen of Maryland because of Dairy Queen. No. The Spurs select Carter Bryant from Arizona, number 14. The Thunder select Thomas Sober from Georgetown, 15. Blazers select Janssen from China. Number 17, Wolves select Johan Barringer from France. 18, the Jazz select Noah Clayton Jr. from Florida. Number 19, the Nets select Noah Tyro from France. Number 20, the Heat select Kaspers Jakunis from Illinois. The Wizards select Will Riley from Illinois at number 21. The Nets select Drake Powell from North Carolina, number 22. The Hawks select Asa Newell from Georgia at 23. At 24, the Kings select Niquique Clifford from Colorado State. 25, the Orlando Magic select Jace Richardson from Michigan State. The Nets went back-to-back in 26 and 27 with Ben Sarah from Israel. At 27, they selected Danny Wolf from Michigan. But like that. At 28, the Celtics select Hugo Gonzalez from Spain. Number 29, the Suns select Liam McNeely from UConn. Actually, they wanted Liam Neeson, but he wasn't available. Oh boy. And number 30, the Clippers select Yannick Koran Nedhauser from the Penn State. Oh, I should have said that. The Oilers have traded winger Evander Kane to the Canucks. Kane signed a 4-year extension with the Oilers from after the 21-22 season and was entering the final year of his contract of the deal. The Orioles will get a 4th-round pick in the trade. Kane made the announcement on X. He thanked the organization and his teammates. Kane joined the organization in January of 2022. Kane, the number 4 pick in the 2029 draft by then the Atlanta Thrashers, and played for 4 NHL franchises, scoring 326 goals to go with 291 assists during his 15-year career. Kane led the Oilers in goals in the playoffs in his first season and had been part of a team that went to 3 Western Conference Finals and 2 Stanley Cup Finals. The Canucks did not qualify for the postseason this time. Well. Rockets guard Fred VanVleet intends to sign a 2-year, $50 million deal to stay with the Rockets, which includes a player option for the 2026-27 season. ESPN reported that on Wednesday. VanVleet is coming up his 2nd season with the Rockets. During this past season, he averaged 14.1 points per game and 5.7 assists. He was the 3rd highest leading scorer and helped earn the Rockets number 2 seed in the Western Conference Western Conference playoffs, but were upset by the Warriors in the first round. What went wrong? I have no idea. How do you lose that? 9-time All-Star point guard Kyle Lowry will decline his $43 million player option and instead signed a 3-year, $119 million deal to stay with the Mavericks. That was reported on Tuesday. Irving, who will have a player option for the 2027-28 season, per the report, is recovering from a torn ACL that ended his season back in March. He spoke with ESPN on Tuesday night and said that there's a long-term commitment for himself and himself and the Mavericks organization, and said he wants to build a legacy with the Mavericks and believing the Mavericks can win a title. We'll see. Irving could make a return Mavericks by January, according to reports. Last season, he averaged 24.7 points, 4.8 rebounds, and 4.6 assists, with 1.3 steals in 50 games, and all were starts, and averaged a respectable 36.5 minutes per game. In part of 3 seasons, Irving averaged 25.5 points, 5.1 assists, and 4.8 rebounds with 1.3 steals in 128 regular season games, and once again, all starts. He averaged 22.1 points, 5.1 assists, and 3.7 rebounds with 1.0 steals, averaging 40 minutes per game, starting in all 22 play games with the Mavericks that went to the 2024 finals, but lost to the Boston Celtics. Those of you who know me know how much I can't stand him. All right, Irving does have one title, and that was with the Cavaliers in 2016 as they upset the Warriors in that final. Wow. Cavaliers selected Irving in the 2011 draft out of Duke and was named Rookie of the Year that season. The Mavericks are expected to go with Cooper Flag first of all, which they did in the draft. No surprise at all. The Panthers wrapped up their Stanley Cup parade with reaching their destination at Fort Lauderdale Beach, and the festivities raged on and on. As the celebrations went down on the sand, the U.S. Coast Guard aircraft flew overhead and captured a breathtaking video aerial perspective of the parade. I wish I would have seen this myself. Tons of fans were waving red and white. Could be seen by celebrating on the beach as the Panthers won their second straight cup. Whoever said Florida was not a hockey town, well, you might want to take that back. Fans packed the beaches as they celebrated another title. The Panthers beat the Orioles in 6 games, which to me was a little bit disappointing how it went down because I really thought the Oilers were going to put up more of a fight in Game 6. Obviously, it didn't. And the Hockey Hall of Fame grew by 8 members that were inducted in the class 2025 back on Wednesday. Among some of the biggest names were defenseman Zdeno Chara and Senator Joe Thornton. Chara is known for his time with the Senators and Bruins. He won a Stanley Cup. Thornton played in League 24 seasons with 4 teams, but more noticeably the San Jose Sharks, and won a Hart Trophy in 2006. Other players include Olympic female Olympic medalist Brianna Decker, who won gold for the U.S. team, and Stanley Cup champions Duncan Keith and Alexander Mogilny. The induction ceremony will take place on November 10th. Players must be at least 3 years in retirement to be eligible, unlike the NFL where you need 5. Yeah, you do need 5 in the NBA. All right. And the Boston Celtics have traded Kristaps Porzingis to the Hawks in a blockbuster trade back on last Tuesday. Porzingis joined the Hawks as part of a 3-team trade that sent for Burgess Nigang and a second-round pick to the Celtics. This will be the 15th that Porzingis will play for, and 1 year removed from their 18th NBA title. Yeah. Unfortunately, with that, yes. Prior to the move, Porzingis gave a positive update on his health status. The star center was dealing with a viral illness in the postseason and struggled on the court. As a result, where he was benched and led to the loss by the Knicks. Last Tuesday, before the trade went down, Porzingis thanked the fans for their support throughout his recovery and gave a brief rundown of what he was exited for the summer. Porzingis is set to compete in the Eurobasket tournament in August. Yeah, Eurobasket. And watch out for those European players, guys, because they are tough. Why do you think we lose in the World Basketball Championships? Or do we ever? All right. Well, the Yankees lost at home on Saturday, 7 to the A's, and 7-0 shut at home. But that's not the worst of it. There was a heat exchange by both teams in the seventh inning. It's hard to believe. This will happen after reliever Ian Hamilton handled a comebacker to the mound by Jacob Wilson and ran toward first base before tossing the ball to Paul Goldschmidt to get the out. Hamilton started down Wilson during the play that had some words for him before he. Oh boy. Heads of the was the issue with Hamilton. What was the issue with Hamilton? The pitcher did not think that Wilson hustled enough on the play, and they let him have it. Hamilton had this to say to reporters after the game. He was not running out of the box. I was upset that he was. I was upset that he was. They asked me what I said, and I walked off. This is very odd for a pitcher to say that to a hitter. Also, Hamilton did not even have a rough seventh inning and did not even give up a run. The Yankees have been struggling lately, and it seems everyone is starting to feel some tension in the Bronx. Oh boy, you can say that again. Yankees look at Aaron Judge crushed 2 home runs in Saturday's 12-5 win over the A's. That gives him 30 on the season. Second in the majors, only Carl Raleigh has more. This was the 44th time in Judge's career that he had multiple home runs in the same game. In terms of Yankee players, he is now third all time in this achievement. He surpassed Lou Gehrig, who had 43 home runs in his career. Judge now trails some pretty good company here. Trails only Babe Ruth with 68 multiple home runs, and Mickey Mantle 46. But it's possible the Judge will pass the Vic this season. Oh boy. On top of that, Judge's 44 multiple home runs gives him 5 more than any other player accomplished in the first 1,200 games of his career. Judge did this in 1,076 games of his career. Well, it's a halfway point in the regular season in terms of actual games played, and the Rockies are still pathetic, as they have only won 19 games so far this year, not even 20 games that were in July 1st. Oh, wow. To make matters even worse, interim manager Warren Schaefer got his first ejection in the third inning of Sunday's game against the Brewers. Schaefer jumped out of the dugout after right fielder Tyler Freeman was ejected for what looked like a pretty tame critique of home plate umpire Raymond DeSuze. Schaefer would follow Freeman, who would with speed, but not before getting solid work, including slamming his gun into the dirt, getting low to show DeSuze how to pitch on how low the pitch was on a called strike. I did not say anything rude after the game, Freeman said. All I said was, come on, bro. That's twice. I was tossed and it did not feel right. Schaefer said the speed that DeSuze through that Freeman was out just drove him nuts. I'm sure would drive anybody nuts. I did not like the fact that he threw. I did not like the fact that he threw to Freeman so fast. After Freeman did not swear at him or he did not look at anything else to him, said Schaefer. I like Ramon, but he was just too quick to toss Freeman. Way too quick. One of our best players tossed in the third inning. That's ridiculous. And it is. While losing a player and your manager in less than 3 innings into a game is not a wise strategy, the Rockies, however, did come away with a 4-3 win in 11 innings, but still have not won 20 games this season, as we are now in July 1st. The year from hell. Well, I look at it that way. All right. One of our idiots of the week, 49ers defensive back Desmondron Lenoir was arrested in L.A., according to a report from TMZ on Friday morning. Lenoir has said to have been booked on one count of obstruction of justice. He was reportedly held overnight on Thursday and released on Friday morning. He will appear in court later this month. The former Oregon standout reportedly refused to give up his car keys when asked to do so by law enforcement officers. Setting his arrest, police are Question Police are said to have questioned Lenore and another man, Marcus Cunningham, on suspicion of criminal activity. When they observed vehicles double parked and blocking traffic, police also noticed a gun in Cunningham's car. Okay, a bad move right there. Lenore is entering his fifth season with the 49ers, who was drafted in the fifth round of the 2021 draft. He became a key piece of their defense as he picked up 6 passes and made 248 combined tackles in 3 seasons. The 49ers are expected to open up the season on September 7th against the Seattle Seahawks. It's going to be a tough game. The Mets held a players-only meeting after a 9-2 loss to the Pirates on Saturday. It was their 12th loss in 15 games. June has not been a good month for the Mets at all. The Mets know something needs to change in order for the men to shift. They were only a half game ahead of the Phillies at the time of this article for the top of the AL in the NL East. So it's not likely to say the season is over, but they better get their act together. Well, unfortunately, he hasn't done anything better because now they trail the Phillies by 2 games. Oh boy. Francisco Lindor said to reporters that he hopes nothing but winning changes after the meeting. At the end of the day, it's all about winning, said Lindor. It's not rah-rah. Just the season will turn around. We're still competing. This is not magic. No one is hoping for that. That's how this part of the that's how it works. It's part of the adversity we are dealing with. It's good to look each other in the eye and understand that what we're going through. Yet at the same time, and remember, this is a team sport. Left fielder Brandon Nimmo said the meeting was similar to what we had one last season, which in the long run was productive. Nimmo sounded hopeful after the meeting. The meeting was both good and productive. I think we look to build on that one step at a time. I would love to fix the situation overnight, but we knew it's going to take time for that to happen. You can't turn it around overnight, folks. The Cubs and Astros were involved in a huge trade back in December that sent 3-time All-Star Kyle Tucker to the Cubs, while infielder Isaac Padres and pitcher Hayden Wesky and infield prospect Cam Smith were all sent to the Astros. These players all faced each other this past weekend as the Cubs were visiting Dalkin Park. And some sort of fantastic way, all 3 batters were dealt in the trade. Hit home runs in the game on Saturday. Smith shot the first home run of the game in the 3rd inning and gave the Astros a 2-1 lead at the point. The Cubs responded in a big way in the 4th as 3 players homered to add the tally to 7 runs. The last Cubs player to hit a homer in the 4th was Tucker, who had been on fire this season, especially when visiting Houston. He was a triple shot. He was a triple shot short of the cycle. The Padres finished off the 8th when he had a 320 feet home run against to give the Astros their 3rd home run of the night and an easy 12-3 victory. Yeah, I'll say easy. Sad news to report here as former MLB outfielder Dave Parker passed away after a long time battle with Parkinson's disease. He was 74. During his 19 seasons, 11 with the Pirates, in 1978, while with the Pirates, he was named NL MVP, hitting 30 home runs and 17 RBIs. Parker was arranged signed to the Pirates Hall of Fame in 2022 and was set to be honored at Cooperstown next month into the Pro Baseball Hall of Fame. What a shame. Tributes poured out for Parker shortly after the news. The Pirates spoke out about Parker's legacy before the game against the Mets on Friday. A moment of silence was held at PNC Park before the game. Parker also spent 2 seasons with the A's. All 3 teams wrote memorials on social media. Yeah. That's a shame. All right. Diamondbacks fans at Chase Field gave Ketel Martin a warm welcome on Friday night in the team's first game at home since a so-called fan heckled him in a game in Chicago regarding his deceased mother last Tuesday. What an idiot. A fan, if you want to call it that, shouted stupid remarks at Marte about his mother who passed away in a car accident in 2017. Marte was seen in tears on the field, and his teammates and manager, Troy Laveau, were on hand to console him. Since then, the fans have been this fan's been banned from all MLB ballparks, and it's a lifetime ban, and deserved it. The D-backs found special ways to show their support for Monte ahead of his first at bat. He received a huge standing ovation from the crowd. Marte tipped his cap to the crowd and said thank you to the many fans in the crowd. They wore shirts that read, Ketel is my MVP, and the broadcast captured some fans that created homemade signs to show the second baseman some love. In an interview this past week, Marte said the fan crossed the line by yelling vicious taunts about his deceased mother. Yet he still sent prayers to the fan. It is clear that Marte is grateful for the love and support he received this week. You don't say that about somebody's mother, okay? You can say how your team sucks and whatnot, yeah, and oh, you should be sent to the minors. Okay, that kind of taunting, yeah, but you don't do that to any member of the family, never. All right. Bryce Harper has not played since June 5th since he went on the injured list with inflammation in his wrist. At the time, he landed the 10-day injured list, which is now extended to beyond 20. For weeks, Harper did not offer any information about his return. Finally, on Saturday, Harper got an estimated timeline for his return. So we think. Harper took live pitches yesterday and I believe did take to the field today, unless there was any setbacks. And that was against the Padres. MLB reported that Harper did not give an exact date of when he would return, but there's a good chance that he could return this week. Harper, a two-time MVP, missed a few games last month after being hit by a pitch on his right elbow. He admitted the incident did not help his ongoing issue with his wrist. And the Phillies now lead the Mets by 2 games in the NL East. Mets starting pitcher Griffin Canning's season is over. The Mets have placed Canning on the 60-day injured list with a ruptured Achilles tendon. The announcement was made on Friday amid roster moves. The Mets did go in to beat the Braves on Thursday, but Canning only managed to pitch just over 2 innings, as he was also injured on a non-contact play. The injury was a major blow to Canning, who before the injury had a 3.77 ERA. Yeah, and then this happens. That was Canning's first season with the Mets after spending the last 5 seasons with the Dodgers. Before taking out, Canning struck out 3 batters and just gave up 1 hit. As we approach the 2025 NFL season, the Browns have thrown a new wrinkle into their defense. The Browns are releasing defensive end Obio Ogawa, according to a report from the NFL Network. Okinawa was about to enter the final year of his 3-year deal worth $19 million. In 2 seasons with the Browns, who appeared in a social media post, recorded 4 tackles and 7.5 sacks. He played college football at Oklahoma, where he was named Defensive Player of the Year in 2027 in the Big 12. He was also drafted by the Rams in the 5th round of 2018. He won a Super Bowl with the Rams in 2021 and had his most productive season in 2022, with the Texans registering 5 sacks and 44 tackles. All right. Cornerback Shaquille Griffin is signed with the Seahawks, where he began his NFL career. Multiple outlets reported that on Wednesday. Griffin, a Pro Bowl selection in 2019, is signing a one-year, $3 million deal that can be increased with up to a value of $4 million, according to reports. Griffin played all 17 games last season for the Vikings, making 3 starts and recorded 41 tackles, 2 interceptions, and 6 passes defended. The Seahawks selected Griffin in the 3rd round of the 2017 draft out of University of Central Florida. Griffin made 407 tackles, 13 tackles for loss, 1 sack, 9 interceptions, and 1 forced fumble in 106 games with 82 starts for the Seahawks, Jaguars, Texans, Panthers, and Vikings. He played 57 games with 53 starts in 4 seasons for the Seahawks before signing as a free agent with the Jaguars for 3 years at $40 million. He played in 19 games for 2 seasons with the Jaguars, and a back injury sidelined him for the last 11 games of 2022 and was released in March of the 2023 season. Shortly after Shohei Ohtani his 28th home run of the season, back on June 27th, the two-way star will be the DH for the American League at the All-Star game 2 weeks from now. For the American League, Aaron Judge of the Yankees earned the most votes in MLB and earned an automatic bid and will start at outfield. Last week, the league announced that which players earned the most votes per position, both leagues, and Judge had the most votes overall and the most in the American League. And Ohtani received the most votes in the National League and 2nd in most votes. This will be Ohtani's 5th All-Star appearance, and for Judge, it'll be his 7th. Okay. And well, we got one more idiot here. As former Ravens kicker Justin Tucker, or should we call it Justin Sucker, is suspended for 10 games for violating the league's conduct policy. The announcement was made on Thursday. Tucker will be suspended for the first 10 games of the season without pay for violating the league's conduct policy, the league said in a statement. Tucker's suspension will come on cutdown day on August 26th and will be eligible to return on November 11th with any free agent. Tucker may serve a suspension without pay, without being under contract with any team. Tucker remains free to try out with any club. If he signs in the offseason, he may attend training camp and play in preseason games. Tucker is facing sexual harassment allegations from 16 massage therapists from 8 different spas and wellness centers that took place in the Baltimore area. An investigation by the Baltimore Banner, released in January, revealed accounts from 6 different therapists that described troubled experiences and went on to share similar alleged accounts after the report came out. What a dodo bird.
Yeah. By the way, never cross Ketel Marte's line.
Never. Yeah, Wander Franco only got 2 years for his involvement after having an alleged relationship with a 14-year-old girl at the time, even though he was 21. They wanted 5 years, but he only got 2. You got off easy, you bum. What a whack.
No shit, Sherlock.
Yeah. And Ronald Acuna Jr. becomes the first player to announce that he will participate in the Home Run Derby. Last Wednesday, Acuna Jr. made the announcement on SportsCenter. This year's Home Run Derby will play at Truist Park. That's the home field of Braves. It's fitting that the face of the franchise will be participating in the Derby. This will be Acuna's 3rd Derby appearance. He participated in 2019 and knocked out Josh Bell before losing to Pete Alonso in the semifinals. He played in the 22 event and lost to Alonso again in a thriller first rounder of 20-19. So that was something. A lot of players complain that the home run derby messes up their swing, and that's why they managed to fall apart in the second half of the season. I don't really believe that, though. I don't buy that. Okay, just one more notes here. The WNBA is on the rise, and expansion will continue to grow over the next few years. Earlier today, Commissioner Kathy Engelbert announced that Cleveland, Detroit, and Philadelphia as the next three cities to join the league over the next few years. Cleveland will be the first to join in 2028, then Detroit in 2029, and Philadelphia in 2030. Three new franchises will bring the total to 18 teams, with 6 new teams within the next 5 years. That's an awful lot.
Oh man, can't wait.
Yeah, the Golden State Valkyries are in their debut season and are having modest success. Toronto and Portland will begin play next season. Toronto's team will be called the Tempo. Portland has yet to adopt a new name for its franchise. Well, what are you waiting for? Hurry up. Paige Buchers was ruled out for series games against the Wings, Mystics, with a right knee, but that didn't stop her from being totally invested in her team from the bench. In the second quarter, Beckers did not hide her reactions to the officiating, especially when she did not agree with a non-shooting foul called on her teammate, Lisa Smith. Of course, I think Paige will get Rookie of the Year. I think. Right as the officials blew the whistle on Smith, Buchers jumped out of her seat on the bench to throw her hand out to question the call. She seemed to think that the officials were wrong on the call, and she let it be known. Hopefully, Paige will return to the court soon and won't have to deal with her frustrations from the sidelines. The Wings did not share when they expect Buchers to return to Lamp, but the Wings don't play again until July 3rd, so she'll have some time to recover from the injury, and we certainly wish her the best of luck. The NBA draft concluded on Thursday since many college stars have signed on with NBA teams on two-way contracts with the Summer League or Exhibit 10 contracts. One of those players that signed the Exhibit 10 is Julian Reese. Now, for those of you who follow the WNBA, her sister is Angel Reese. The big man was signed by the Lakers on Friday out of Maryland. The Chicago Sky Star has always been supportive of her family in basketball, and her brother signing with the Lakers was not any different. Angel tweeted messages of support for her brother shortly after the news dropped. The younger Reese will have to earn a spot on the roster if he officially wants to make the NBA. The Lakers could use the money at the G League or Summer League squad. He could eventually sign a two-way contract as well. So I wish you the best of luck.
All in the family.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's kind of like the Millers. You got Reggie Miller and Cheryl Miller. So this is just another example of all in the family. You get the idea. All right. All right. Just gonna do one more bit of notes here. As the NHL draft was also this past week. It's amazing though that how the NBA can wrap up the draft in 2 rounds, but the NHL it takes like 7 rounds. It takes 3 days to get done. And don't get me started on baseball because that takes like a week because they go through 37 rounds or something. It's just that is way too much to handle. I mean, seriously, how does anybody able to cover that many rounds in a draft? I find that kind of weird.
It's pretty damn quick.
Yeah, but because it takes forever to get done. I've never, and of course the Knicks are still a coach. but interviewed Timberwolves assistant Mika Nori for the head coaching job. So they have 3 prospects to go also with Mike Brown and Taylor Jenkins for the head coaching positions. But so far, nothing has come up yet. So we are still in the ever-going soap opera of the young and the coachless. Just a little joke. Yeah. Well, hopefully they'll get. Because before you know it, they'll report a training camp because that happens in late September. So hopefully we can get this all done.
Yeah.
Ugh. Okay, just a quick look at the NHL draft results, which happened on over the weekend, and the Islanders did get the first pick. Unreal. Yeah. I mean, I know the Islanders were bad this season, but still, I mean, they got the first pick. Wonders never cease. All right, so here we go. The Islanders take Matthew Schaefer, number 1. The Sharks take Michael Mesa, number 2. The Blackhawks take Anton Fandel at number 3. The Mammoth, that's right, Utah finds a name. And I take Caleb Densoyers. The Predators take Brady Martin. The Flyers take on Porter Martone. The Bruins take James Higgins. The Kraken take Jake O'Brien. The Sabres take Random Marchka. The Ducks take Roger McQueen. The Penguins take Benjamin Kendall. The Penguins from the Rangers take Jack Nesbitt. Number 13, the Red Wings take on Carter Bear. Number 14, the Blue Jackets take on Jackson Smith. Number 15, the Canucks select Braden Coots. Number 16, the Islanders from the Canadiens and Flames take Victor Eklund. 17, the Islanders from the Canadiens take on Kashawn Aitchison. 18, the Flames from Devils take on Cole Reshi. Wow. The Blues take Justin Carbonneau at number 19. The Blues at number 20 take from the Blue Jackets take from the Wild Praetor Andrevive Anoy. 21, the Prairies from the Stars take on Cameron Reed. Number 22, the Pens from the Avalanche to the Flyers, Bill Zonin. Senators from the Lightning to Predators, Logan Hensler, number 23. The Penguins from the Kings take on Will Horkoff at number 24. Number 25, the Blackhawks take Valencia Destral. Number 26, the Predators take on Riker Lee. Number 27, the Capitals select Lyndon Lachkovich. Number 28, the Jets take on Sasha Bordenheim. Number 29, the Blackhawks from the Hurricanes select Mason West. Number 30, the Sharks from the Stars take Joshua Ravensbergen. Number 31, the Kings from the Oilers to the Flyers and Penguins take Henry Brustowitz. And number 32, the Flames from the Panthers take Cullen Porter. Wow, some of these teams have really traveled. Kings through Flyers and the Penguins and beyond. Wow. All right, so let's wrap up some of the late scores from MLB. I'll have to go back to that. Yeah, for a short night in the league, they do play some late games on Monday nights, that's for sure. As there's only like a small handful of teams that play on Monday and Thursday nights. All right, so to end the night here, the Orioles beat the Rangers 10-6 in 11 innings. Aiken got the win. Meyer got the loss. The Mariners over the Royals 6-2. Kirby got the win. Walker got the loss. And finally, the D-backs of the Giants 4-2. Carlos got the win. Webb got the loss, and Miller got the save. All right. For me, I'll turn it back over to you.
All right, episode 180 has come to an end, and we'll be back this later this. Check that. That's Saturday night at Saturday night at 11. Friday is independent. This Friday is Independence Day, so we're gonna take that off.
Yes.
So yeah. So until then, for Louis Tenor, I'm Taylor Phillips. Until episode 181, stay true and believe it or not, it's true sports. Happy Independence Day ahead of time.
I'll save you a firecracker.